Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am BorderWise, and welcome back to From the Depths, more specifically, the Cram Cannoneer's Survival Guide. Now, what this video is about is talking about Cram Cannons, my favorite weapon system in the whole game, and how to deal with all the many counters to it. So what you see on screen right now is one of my ships, the Goanna, firing at an Onyx watch vessel known as... what was it called again? Crap, I forgot. This is already going badly. The Halberd, that's it. And the Halberd, as you can probably tell, is armed with lasers. And if you get in a bit closer, you'll see that more than a few shots are being blown straight out of the air. Few of them are getting through, but... yeah, so this is an issue. Cram cannons are the least versatile weapon system in From the Depths. The thing that they are good... okay, shut up. Forgot how loud lasers are. In any case, the advantages of cram cannons is that they do a lot of damage, and they're very ammunition efficient. And that's about it. They are not good against fast targets. They are not good against submarines. They're not good against anything that is small and moves erratically. And they are not good against things with decent munition defenses. An update some time past made it so that cram shells and just any form of shells can be blown out of the air by laser munition defense, which is a bit of a problem. So the Goanna here is at a bit of a disadvantage because cram cannons are the only thing it's armed with. But fear not, I am here to help and tell you of a few ways in which you can deal with these enemies which are armed with particularly annoying defense mechanisms against cram cannons. Because other weapon systems, just to give you an example, missiles, very versatile. They're like one of the simplest weapon systems in the game to make, and they're good against pretty much everything if you configure them right. Advanced cannons are just flat out good against everything. You can make a do-everything gun with this without too much difficulty. Lasers are overpowered as hell, particle cannons are very effective, and just cram cannons are kind of the odd ones out in terms of versatility. They're good against big, slow targets, and that's about it. Big, slow surface targets to boot. So, get rid of that. How do you deal with that? Well, the first trick to using cram cannons, like in the campaign and throughout the game in general, is when in doubt, use lots of them. The Goanna is not a particularly big, expensive ship. It's about 50,000 resource, which is not much. Like, things are expensive when they get to be about 200,000 resource and stuff like that. Incidentally, if you were hoping for a basic tutorial on how to use cram cannons, I am very sorry. If you want that, just let me know in the comments, I'll be happy to make one. This is the survival guide. So once you know how to make them, you can keep using them throughout the whole game. So in any case, the first trick is to use lots of them. The Goanna is not a big ship, it's not a particularly expensive ship, but it does have 8 of them. So even if one turret gets blown up, it's got more. It also means that, as you were seeing with the, the Halberd, even if a few shells get blown up, a few of them can still land. Admittedly not very accurately, but still. And another trick is, yeah, so lots of guns, that's an important thing. And one important thing to note against small, annoying targets, like the flying squirrel, for instance, is that fuses are your best friend. In particular, timed fuses are your best friend. So as you can see here, the Goanna is not going to have much luck hitting this thing. At least I don't think so, because the flying squirrel is the ultimate small, annoying, little annoying thing. However, timed fuses make this a lot better. So the Goanna's fuses are rigged so to explode like at the target, so like that. So there you go, that's a flying squirrel downed, and quite gracefully actually. I don't think the Goanna took any damage. The flares on it certainly helped. So that is an example of just... I'll show you how the flares are, how the fuses are set up here. So we're in here, we're in here, and the fusing box is, I believe, right here. So you got all these things. Inertial fuses are a must-have, because they're good at dealing with energy shields and just armored targets and stuff like that. Time from launch. I set that high, and then the other magical little thing... Oh yeah, these upside down. I forgot about that. Where the hell is it? Where did I put it? This is the problem with coming back to a design after bloody ages. You don't know what you've done. Ah, here they are. This is the laser targeted. That's 0. And that's usually how I like to set it. You can set it just before the target or just after. Negative is before and positive is after the target. I tend not to do that. I find that this basic fuse setup works the best. And it just means that every so often a shell which would otherwise miss the target still does some damage, still knocks some blocks off. It means you're not wasting your ammunition. Okay, so we got that down. I had crib notes somewhere so I could remember what the hell I was going to say. I've now lost them. I am not a professional, clearly. So, fuses are your best friend. You must use them if you want to succeed in life. And numbers are the main thing. So you saw before, and this is where From the Depths shows kind of one of its flaws. This is a spammy game. Spam is a staple food. It's just, even weak weapons do very well if you just use lots of them. And to demonstrate that, I'm going to spawn in the hourglass again. Not the hourglass, what's it? The halberd. Why can't I remember this thing's name? Look, it even has backstory to it. I should be able to remember that. Where is it? It is over there. It is a long way away. Let's go a little bit closer, and I will spawn in a ship which I am simultaneously very happy with and very, very ashamed of. The Skiller. Just unpause and pause again, so you can see this thing. This is a meta brick of wood and stone, and lots of guns. So this is the multiple guns strategy taken to its logical extreme. This thing has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 16... Whoa, that actually is more guns than I remember. That's 18 guns. They're not very big. They're about... what are they? I think they're only about 1,000 millimeters each, which is not big for a Cram cannon, but it has 18 of them, and they fire quite quickly. So, if I get this rolling, you will see... Yeah, the guns traverse straight through each other, by the way. You'll see that... Whoop! Don't hit without me. You'll see that the laser defenses on the halberd... Yay, I remembered his name. There's 1, 2... whole bunch, but you can see it still got through. The barrage is still good, and there's 1 shell, 2 shell, 3 shell. Didn't help that much. So this is one way to do it, is just spam. A lot of this is just going to be me talking about how to get through these bloody horrible munition defenses, because frankly I hate them. And as you can see, the halberd is getting absolutely wrecked. Simply because the Skiller has a lot of guns and is not afraid to use them. Yeah. See, this is what I'm not proud of. The Skiller is meta as hell. It's like, just more guns, spam them. It's not an elegant design. It's not a clever design. It's just lots of guns on a wooden raft. But in any case, you can see that's working quite well. The problem is that this doesn't always work. And just... sometimes you need to be a little bit clever, and certain kinds of Cram cannon, particularly big ones, are much harder to have lots of. Because the guns on the Skiller are tiny. I will show you how tiny they are. So we're here. So these ones on the front here... hang on. I have them loaded already. So the fore and aft turrets are quite big. They go quite deep into the hull. That's because there's room for them. The other ones do not. They are quite short. They're only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 meters below deck. So that is small by Cram cannon sense. That is tiny. these shells, and I can show you how powerful these shells are. And get this back on. Boom. Just clear the barrel for a second. I'll show you. These are wimpy shells by Cram standards. So that is about 2,000 explosive damage and about 1,600 kinetic damage. That is nothing. There are much bigger, nastier shells than that you can get with a Cram cannon. So, how do you deal with laser munition defense when you have big guns? Because I will demonstrate for you what happens when you come up against something which actually has good laser anti-munition defense. The bulwark. I'll turn this off, otherwise the skiller will get absolutely annihilated. Now the skiller should be able to still get some shots through, and those are fully crammed shells. Hehe, a little bit cheaty, but you can see. Pop, pop. Okay, that's more than I keep forgetting. Yeah. Okay, bad example. The skiller is actually pretty decent. However, I will show you my nemesis. Yeah, those of you who know From the Depths, well, you can see where this is going. Make sure that is off, because this bloody thing fires missiles really quickly. You see, the whole game lags. This is the Tur. For those of you who don't know, this is the scariest ship in the entire bloody game. You can see it's just like, boom. That's an entire volley that didn't get through, and there's another volley didn't get through. Third time's a charm? Nope, 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 nope. So you see here, the skiller can fire away with like 18 guns. That's a lot, and just things like this will just ignore it completely. They will blow every shell out of the air, and there's very little you can do about it. And the Tur is not the only ship in the game which has laser munition defenses like this, and so you need to be ready for it. Because... actually, let's destroy all. Because the further you get in the campaign, the worse it gets. Like, almost every godly class ship has LAM systems on them, and if you are not expecting them, it's really hard to deal with. Not only with crams, but with missiles too. So, we are going to do that. That is the wrong button. That is the most boring screenshot in the world. We're going to try that again with the Tur turned off, because, like, the Tur is a masterful build. Like, I'm brown-nosing a little bit, but whoever designed that is a freaking genius, an obsessive-compulsive genius. And I will show you one way you can get around the whole LAMs thing. That is with currently my biggest, nastiest ship, the Naga. And that trick is combined arms. Let's just check this is still off, otherwise the Naga will die very quickly. So you can see here, the Naga is not short on guns. It has 12 of them. They're actually roughly the same size, or at least the same gauge as the ones on the skiller, but there's a bit more substance to them below deck. There's a lot more... like, there's a lot more guns, so the shells are... There's a lot more components beneath deck, so these guns themselves are a lot more powerful. Their shells are much stronger. There's missiles. And the critical thing about this thing is that, aside from the fact that it's fast, tough, and has 12 big guns, it's got these things. These little secondary guns, which do almost no damage, but they are armed with smoke shells. And in this game, smoke is the counter to missiles. You can get smoke emitters that you put on your ship. The Naga, in fact, has them. But you can also put them in an advanced cannon shell. And this means that you can partially, not always completely, you can partially shut down the effectiveness of LAMs, as should hopefully be shown here. So you see the smoke shells go over there. And I honestly need to work on these things a little bit, because they don't always work very well. So as you can see, there's smoke, and hopefully we should be able to see... There you go. So, the turret is... Oh my goodness, be quiet. The turret is very heavily shielded and also very heavily armored, so... In a straight fight, the Naga would still lose, completely. Like, 2 of them can't beat a turret. But, these little thin lasers here are what happens when lasers aim through smoke. And they're just almost completely nullified, and means that those Cram cannons can get through. And also some of the missiles can get through. I'd use these missiles and everything, they're just there. They're just average, but good and reliable. So in any case, you can see that slowly but surely... Oh my goodness, I keep forgetting how freaking loud this is. And you can see the turret is now at 96% health, which is pretty good actually. We're getting lucky as well, by the way, because the smoke is landing in a good place. So you see, it's less guns, same size, but they're actually kind of getting through. And yeah, that's basically it, really. Pretty. Okay, so that's that. So I will show you on the thing where the smokes are. Naga's so pretty. So, in this particular case... Oh, here we are. Smoke gun. Nope, nope, nope. So, here we have the smoke gun. And... just plonk that there so you can see. So, this is quite a self-contained little thing. Honestly, you could make this a lot smaller. You could... It's also, this thing is a cunning little tactic, the direct input feed. This thing doesn't have any autoloaders or magazines, it's just ammo goes straight into the firing piece, and away it goes. Honestly, I could improve these a lot as well, but they'll do. So here is what the ammunition they're using. It's very simple. It has a flak warhead, tiny amount of damage. I forget what the gauge on this thing is. This is, what did you think? Well, it's a 200mm gun. So, you can see the statistics. So, the flak damage is 100. That's not much. That barely tickles anything. But, you can... Honestly, you could make this a lot smaller, still. Like, there's no reason for this gun to be this big, apart from the fact that I like it. And it has good muzzle velocity. But, in any case, that is the magic thing. The smoke warhead, and keep in mind it needs to be at least wait a minute, 0.2 meters, 20 centimeters or higher gauge. 20 millimeters. Oh no, I'm sorry, like this thing actually does have to be 200 millimeters in order to work. So anything smaller than that is not gonna work at all. Yeah, is that math right? Yeah, that is right. So you need a reasonable sized gun for these to work, but honestly 200mm is tiny by From the Depths cannon standards. So get rid of you, and now I will show you the trick to some of these. These are actually pretty much the same kind of guns on the Skilla. They're timed fused, like the time fuse is set up, so it explodes pretty much on the target, wherever it is. See, right here, it's at 0. Fusing box. Fusing box? Fusing box. Where are you, fusing box? There you are. And same thing, time from launch, inertial. Like, it's an HE spamming thing. Again, I'm a bit more proud of this than I am of the Skilla, but still. Yeah, it just lobs explosive shells a lot. That's pretty much its claim to fame, and its way to victory. I do think it looks nice, though. So in any case, that is, I suppose the Cram survival guide is just use lots of them, if you can, and use fuses on them so they can hit targets that they otherwise would miss, and if you're having trouble with laser munition defense, use smoke guns. Like, I honestly gave myself a pat on the back for remembering that smoke canisters exist in the game, and they're useful like that. Oh yeah, I should mention that if you are using lasers on a craft, so say you... Let's destroy this. I will show you an example craft of this. The transient showed up in my last From the Depths video. Where are you, man? He's over there. Why did you spawn way over there? Oh no, I know why. It's because the bloody Naga likes to orbit at long range. Her. So if you are trying to make something like this, the transient, and you will note that it has a Cram cannon, but it also has lasers. Do not use smoke guns on something like this, because your own smoke counters your own lasers. Like, there's no way to avoid that. If you smoke up a target, your own lasers will stop doing significant damage, so you want to avoid that. So you can either use Cram cannons and smokes, or you can use lasers. So bear that in mind. Like, I guess fortunately for me, I'm useless at building lasers and I don't really use them, but I will admit they are a very effective weapon system once you get the hang of them. I haven't yet. Also, this thing stays incredibly still. Friggin' PIDs, that's a whole different story. But anyway, what can we do here? Oh, I'll show you how bloody terrifying the turret is. Just while we're here, because why not? Right, so this is what, oh my god, this will break the game. What am I doing? Nope. That was close. On second thoughts, I will show you how terrifying the turret is by throwing the Naga against it. Because, quite frankly, the Naga's having too much of a good time. I am not intending to show off my designs here. This is just, well, this is just kind of a survival guide, because I learned these lessons kind of the hard way, because I love Cram cannons, and it means that a lot of ships in the game give me a lot of grief. And you see, the Naga will last almost no time at all, right here. So as you can see, bloody lasers already firing, bloody cannons already firing, my computer is dying, and you can see lots of missiles, lots of that, lots of frag guns, and just ugh. So, ladies and gentlemen, when you are using Cram cannons, this is what you're up against eventually. You are up against laser spewing death and gun spewing death. So hopefully, just use your fuses, use your smoke guns, and that'll help you along. Oh my god, that's loud. Are we actually doing anything to this thing right now? My guess is no. Nope, we've done bugger all. Where are we? I can't even tell anymore. Oh god, the frames. The frames, the frames. So, I will leave you with that pretty light show. Thank you all so much for watching. Pardon the rambling. If you want to see more videos like this, please like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you next time in From the Depths. Farewell!